to the Conservatives. That's what she wants to do. You're in for a bruising time when those 56 SNP MPs come to Westminster.
Well, look, I don't think it will come as any surprise to us that Nicola Sturgeon's not going to be supportive of a Conservative government. She's made her views perfectly clear, and we've identified
but that Paddy
her position very clearly.
Did you stir it up deliberately for short-term political gain?
No, not at all. I mean, but Paddy talked about... He suggested that a David Cameron-led government would be somehow unstable. And the two possible outcomes of this election were a David Cameron-led government or an Ed Miliband-led government propped up by Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP. And I am very clear that the British people have opted for the stable outcome in a Cameron-led government.
Well, you might, I mean, you say that, you might still need a bit of propping up. The cards still haven't fallen, and we've seen a few Labour gains in the last few minutes from the Conservative Party. If you fall short of 326, what's the thinking in the party? What's your thinking? A minority government, or would you need some more formal support from another party?
As you say, we are only looking at projections at the moment. We don't know what the final outcome will be, and it would be unwise when we are clearly going to be so close, one side or the other, of that boundary line, that magic 326.
Well, that could be unstable then, couldn't it? If you're short of the 326 and you decide to go it alone as a minority, that's unstable.
We will watch the results coming in over the next few hours, and the Prime Minister will make his judgment later on today as to what kind of a government he's going to try to form, whether we need to talk to others or we don't need to talk to others. That will depend on the final numbers. What he will do is make those decisions in the national interest, as he did in 2010, looking at what's in Britain's interest, looking at the message we've been getting from the electorate in the results that we're seeing over the course of tonight.
Just revisit some of the campaign for me, Foreign Secretary. I mean, it's almost as if it's swept away by the results, but it's still so fresh in the mind, isn't it? Be honest with me. You must have had doubts when those polls just persistently refused to move in your favour, right up to voting itself.
You know, it's a funny thing, because I've visited dozens of marginal seats, and I've been saying to people over the last few weeks, you know, the polls just don't feel right. But we said in 2010, it feels better on the ground than the polls are telling us. And I dare not say that in the run-up to this election, that the polls have got it wrong. But it looks, from what we're seeing now, as though the polls did have it wrong, and we were doing better on the ground than the polls were telling us.
People are afraid of telling pollsters that they want to vote Conservative. It's not really a feather in the cap of the Conservatives.
No, it's going to be a question for the pollsters to work out. If indeed they have got it wrong, as I think Peter Kellner's already conceded, the pollsters are going to have to work out what went wrong and how they refine their methodology to take account of whatever it is that's been going on that's led them to the conclusions that have been, on the face of it, quite a long way away from the outturn.
OK, questions for the pollsters then. Foreign Secretary, thank you very much indeed. Phillip Hammond there.